They had something called the invisible church. You ever heard of that before? All right, cool. So if I ever start a church, I might call it the invisible church, right? I think that's dope. So the invisible church was after the slave master went to sleep, the slaves would get together, wet rags to muffle the sound, hold on to each other's shirts, and walk 5 to 10 miles into the marsh, into the thicket, to the ravines, the gullies, away from the slave master. And they would form a circle on their knees, just like a cipher. They literally would, and you can look it up. They formed a circle, and they had one person in the middle as a speaker. And they had a container full of water that he would speak into the container full of water to muffle the sound, but also to create a sort of acoustics in the dark. Can you imagine that? You already know the penalty of death if they wake up and find out that you're not in your slave quarters. You already know the penalty of death if they see you practicing anything other than how it was prescribed by master. You already know the penalty of death if they see you singing songs of joy. So they had to be real quiet in that circle, speaking into that water to give themselves hope, comfort, to go over what they receive and compare it to what the truth is. And that's what church represent. Church represent that same metaphor of speaking into that water, which symbolize movement. Water is a conductor, electricity, this, all these things. That's what it symbolized when it comes to the spoken word. And I see myself as that person in that circle. I'm drawn to that, even though I wasn't there. When I close my eyes, I could see myself leading them people away from the terrors of the night and giving them reason to have enough faith, not in me, because I don't have any power. I'm just a channel. You know how courageous a person would have to be to get people that are already oppressed and fearful of their life to get down on their knees, bugs biting them, stuff in the trees. They probably don't even speak the same language because they're from different tribes out there in the middle. Somebody got to make sure they know how to get back the way they were and have one spokesperson willing to speak into the water